Michael, back with you again. I'm at a local church, and I brought my daughters to see a concert here. It's the group is called Leland. A lot of you have probably heard of them. I never heard of them before my daughter bought a CD, and I still haven't heard of them. I still haven't listened to their music, really. I thought, rather than kind of waste these old ears of mine, I'd utilize my ears with my iPod in a quiet room, listening to Alexander Scorby read where I'm at in my Bible presently in Exodus. Exodus, I started with 19 here tonight, and I read up through, with the help of Alexander Scorby, chapter 28. So I got 10 chapters in. That's good. But I got to be honest, I didn't get really much of anything that I read. Of course, I read through the Ten Commandments. I read that and I understood that. But there's so much in the Bible. Even when Moses went up to Mount Sinai, God told him to not let the children of Israel follow him there. And they weren't even supposed to touch the side of the mount or the base of it where it starts to go up. They weren't supposed to touch it or they'd die. I wonder, what does that mean? There's so much detail in the law besides the Ten Commandments that I don't get. Lord willing, hopefully I'll come to understanding of what those things mean. I've had a lot of thoughts regarding what's going on in the other room and regarding the fact that, why don't we have church services or a Sunday night where folks just have somebody come in and read 10 chapters of Exodus? Why is it necessary that we have entertainment? Of course, you're probably saying, why'd you take your kids to it? Well, it's a learning experience. Actually, I want to learn from them and see what they like better, really. Whether they like mom and dad's devotion time that we have with them each night. And thank the Lord, I'm not boasting at all by any means. I am so grateful that my family, for the first time ever, just finished reading through the New Testament this year. And we finished early, too. The way it's set up in a little pamphlet that I have, it shows you how you can read through the New Testament in the year. But we decided to read a chapter a night, and we got through it. And right there it's notated that we finished it off. Oh, when was it? It was actually the night before. Oh no, was it Halloween night, 10/30? Can't even remember now. Does October have 30 days? April, June, and November. Yeah, I think it was the night before Halloween. That's when it was. So we finished the New Testament, and now we're reading through Matthew. And actually, the point of this video is I want to show you something really cool that I learned today. I mean, it's just unbelievable what God showed me. In fact, in the last few days, the Lord showed me so much. It's just hard to keep up with. I had the privilege of meeting a Jewish fella that was actually hitchhiking in my town. I picked him up. I gave him a Hebrew English Testament, which, by the way, I'm giving away on YouTube. Look for my video if you'd like a Hebrew English Testament. Maybe one to even just give away to somebody you know. Maybe you're not Hebrew, you don't read Hebrew, but you know somebody that does. By all means, get a hold of me and I'll send you one of those testaments. I learned so much from this fella, and that's what's amazing, how we can learn. We Christians, we as we call ourselves, New Testament Christians, can learn from Old Testament Jews. And that's the point of my video, and I'm gonna get to that. But here's what might sound like a little sidetrack, but not really. This is what I mean. I mean, why do we think that it's necessary to entertain kids with lots of really loud music and stuff? Now, I don't know these fellas' hearts that are doing this music. They might be sincere as can be, and they probably are. But it's just, a different form of worship than what we've come through in the past. And to be honest, there's not much of this, I don't believe, being sung. Okay, well, I'm going to read you. You're going to have to put up with this. Why am I saying it that way? You're going to have to please honor and respect this as I read it to you. But it's just one example of some of the very, very, very specific details that God put into His law that all very, very, very specifically relate to Christ in some way. And as I say, I hope that someday the Lord will reveal it all to me. I want to know it all. But here's just a portion. It was when Moses and Aaron, they were to make the ephod and the breastplate and all. I'm just going to read you to show you some of the detail. In chapter 28 of Exodus, And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him, and from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, unto whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, and a mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and they shall make an ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen with cunning work. And it shall have 2 shoulder pieces thereof, joined at the 2 edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, or blue, or purple, or scarlet, and fine twined linen. And thou shalt make 2 onyx stones, and grave them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stone, according to their birth, with the work of their engraver in stone. Like the engravings of a signet shalt thou engrave 2 stones with the names of the children of Israel. Thou shalt make them to be set in ouches of gold. Then it goes on and it tells about the gold of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine twined linen shalt thou make it. 4 squares shall it be doubled, and a span shall be the length thereof, and a span. It tells the different types of stones. It says, thou shalt set in it settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, a topaz, a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. Now I'd like you to do something. I would like, if you sat through that, to post a comment in the video, in the comment section below, because I'd like to know who sat through that little bit that I read there. Somebody's thinking, possibly. I know there's at least maybe a few. You're going to check out the amount of comments below and compare it to the amount of views of this video. Obviously, there are not going to be as many comments as there are many views, because people are bottomed out during while I was reading that. Because people don't care to know. People don't care to know the details of what is being stated here. It's like, you know what, I'd rather go listen to this music here. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's going to post something about the song that they recognize in the comments below, which will kind of prove what they were really listening to just now, because I'm sure you can hear the music. It's like 3 rooms over. I mean, it's in a big auditorium, but I'm supposedly in a quiet spot. I asked him for a quiet spot where I can read. Well, anyway, here's the point of the video. Here's something that I learned. This is amazing. I'm reading with my family through Matthew, as I mentioned. There are mentions, of course, in different spots of bread and fishes. Of course, the miracle of the loaves, the bread and the fishes, and that's the one I'm going to talk about. But also, Jesus said in the book of Matthew, forgive me, I can't remember what chapter it is right now. I can look it up here, and I'm running up my 10 minutes here. If a son shall ask his father bread, will he give him a stone? If he'll ask fish, will he give him a serpent? Bread and fish. Remember the 5 loaves and 2 fishes? Here's what I learned. 2 fishes. This is what I learned from speaking to the Jewish fellow. 2 fishes. Think about this. Jews and Gentiles. The fishes represent man. 2 fishes talking to one another, sharing what they know. What are the 5 loaves? I was talking to my daughter this morning. I thought, what would the 5 loaves be? Then I thought, oh, the 5 books of Moses. Then I thought, well, that's not, how we're saved now. And I thought, well, we got the 4 Gospels, and then they classify the epistles, and Acts just sort of sits by itself. Why couldn't we put Acts with the 4 Gospels and have the first 5 books of the Old Testament? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts. 2 fishes, Jews and Gentiles, sharing the first 5 books of the books they revere. The heart of the law and the heart of the gospel. Put them together with the fishes, and they multiply. God's word spreads. We learn from each other. God's word spreads. More people become Christians. it multiplies. What are taken up? 12 basketful. 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples. It's amazing, huh? If we ask God, He'll give us more than you could possibly imagine. Please ask God. Please read the right book. Read God's Word in the English language. It's got a KJV on it. It should say KJB because it is a Bible. It's not a version. The Lord bless you for watching.